Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and I am back. That's right, I fought what's supposed to be this hard battle against COVID. It means I coughed 3 times, sneezed once, and then that's about it. I was lucky, not again trying to make light, but I am back. We're back making normal videos again, where Kurt can be in the same room with me, and I should technically be in a mask, but we are social distancing. Believe it or not, he is more than 6 feet away from me. So for all you people worried about that, we're just fine, which is great. I'm really excited to be back behind the camera in a normal aspect and not stuck just doing lives.
You're in front of the camera.
Well, yeah, I'm in front of the camera. See, my brain isn't quite there. I'm brain damaged from COVID. That's what I'm going to go with. That's my new excuse for everything. You know what sucks is I did not lose my sense of taste or smell, which is awesome. But if I'd have lost my sense of taste, I probably could have lost some weight because then eating would have sucked. I'd just been like, man, I've been a chore. Ah, man, if I could have lost taste for like 3 or 4 months, I'd be like super skinny again. You know, I'd be back to my fighting weight. But instead, I didn't, so I'm going to stay fat. I like food. It is what it is. I can own it. Fuck everybody. But what we're going to talk about today is everybody shows like baby snakes or they show adult snakes. We're going to show you both. So that way you can really kind of see what an adult, you know, what it starts out as, how the change comes. Some morphs change a lot. Some combos change a lot. We're going to work with some very basic combos, show you some very, you know, this isn't going to be like, here, let me pull out a 7-gene baby and a 7-gene adult to compare, because that's not what most people are really going to look at every day. We're going to show you some very basic single genes and some very basic combos to kind of let you see the difference as they grow. And then we're going to slide over to Patreon, which if you're not a member, please do that. And if you don't want to join Patreon, at least give us a like and subscribe here. I'd really appreciate it. And there we will talk about how knowing what these are going to look like, what we believe you should tell your customer at this point in our career, and how that can also help or detract from sales. Sometimes sales, you always want to be honest, but the way you present the information can put a customer in one box or another. We'll kind of talk about that over on Patreon. All right, so with all of that information, let's get started. And I'm going to show you the first one. First baby I'm going to pull out. Come here, little one. So, this is a really nice little baby. This is a little female pied. So here's the thing. Here's how they look as babies. And to get a really good comparison, I'm going to use probably the father of this one to show you. Actually, I'll use what would be one from the same parents that's a little older, and then a full-size adult. So you'll get the full Monty on these pies. That'll be really cool to see. And this is how they come out as babies. I mean, this one's got several meals in it. It's not a fresh-born. We don't have any fresh-born things right now. Everybody's been eating her around for at least a little while just because of the type of season. But this is what you could expect. This would be the kind of pied I would have on a table for sale. That's what we're kind of trying to show here, color-wise, look-wise, etc. So let's show you one now that is, you know, what I would call a sub-adult. We've never bred this one. She's not quite there. We might end up late this season. I gotta wait on her, but it'd be her first. So what you can see, and these came from the exact same parents, you can see a change, more of a change than I actually expected when I put them together. And where you're really seeing a change is this is still a very, very striking snake. I would say the whites on the adult are actually probably a little bit brighter than the whites on the baby. But look at the color difference. That orange has kind of gone to this bronzish, really nice color. Snake that really wants to run around on me. All right, Kurt, keep that there. Keep that there if you can. I know you got like a whole handful of camera. Do your best. Let's really try to, oh, that guy's out being busy. Let me find him. Actually, I'll just get Mom out. Mom will work. So this is Mom to both of these girls. Now, as you can see, once they hit that sub-adult, they held their colors pretty well. And you're going to say, okay, everybody. You're going to say, but Matt, you're saying that, but the colors, there's a vast difference. Well, part of that is because Mom is a little bit darker, Dad is more orange, so this is what you get. But you're going to hold, from this side, you're not going to see a whole lot of change. I will show you that here in a second to prove my point. Okay, I'll put you back. Here, hold that for a sec with your free hand. You got one free hand? Let's hold that one. That almost being good. Let me see if my male is not currently locked. I will pull him out as well, because I do think this is a great opportunity. Oh, well, you have to show him this way because he's kind of getting busy. I don't want to disturb him, but you can see his color is a lot more close to the baby that, let me get this one from you, Kurt, that Kurt's holding on to. So this way you can kind of see what I'm talking about as best you can. And you're going to see Not that much change from here to there. So we get to where we kind of hold once we get to this size. So you can see too there, we're working on making some hets. That would be double hets, looking for some albino pieds down the road. Go get it, buddy. Go get it. That's always good to see when you open up a tub and have a lock. They were not locked the other day when I was here. They are now. That's why we leave them in for as long as we do. So we put this one up and this one up. Come on, girlie. We'll go on to the next morph. Get off my hand. Oh, forgot. He's out getting busy. That's okay. We're going to show you banana next. Now, unlike the other one I just showed you, which doesn't have a whole lot of change, you left me a present back there, didn't you? Banana is one that does. Now, this is an adult proven breeder female. She laid her first clutch for us, which is great, so I can use some of the offspring from, some of that stuff for that, although I don't remember if this is her offspring or another banana's offspring. But what we have here, and this is a very vast color change. Banana is one that just has a much different look as an adult than when it does as a baby. Probably the most or second most drastic change of the ones I'm going to show you. Because again, we're not getting into a crazy 5-gene combo. There's just so much variables in that there's kind of no point in what we're trying to share here. But when you start thinking about combos, you're going to have the same change in your combos using banana, with some exceptions. There are some genes you can use to kind of prevent that change. One, the black spots can be prevented using something like Mojave. You can also prevent some of the color change if you want to do something like Desert Ghost. You're going to make it actually look crazy or bright. Other things you can do to put into here to really help with that color loss. But to me, to my eye, the babies are much prettier than the adults. That's how I feel about banana. Again, eye of the beholder, right? These things are just gorgeous. Look at that. And again, this is just a straight banana. This one's actually a banana possible het clown, whereas this is just a straight banana female. So we are comparing apples to apples here. So let me put these guys back. I know, girlie. You're so pretty. Don't you run away from me. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I'm coming to get you. Got you. Haha. Sucker. You don't want to go into your water dish. Come on. There you go. Much happier snake. Then we had one over here I know I wanted to show, so I'll do that next. That's right here. Now this is going to be probably not the best comparison, just simply because the other one I'm going to use is a paradox, because the other albino is in shed and breeding at the same time, as you already saw. So we're looking here at an albino baby. Again, I think they're brighter as babies. I'm going to show you what's a really, really nice adult albino. Holds color very, very well. Roar. Now again, this one is a paradox, so keep that in mind. But this is an instance where I actually like the adult better than the baby. I think the white is a little pure. This has almost got a little bit of dark to it, not a toffino. That, for the record, someone's going to ask, not a mite. I know somebody will ask, would you just take off that little mite? No, just garbage. So anyway, I like the pure white, especially up here around the head area. As you can see, that one's more faded. If this would hold purple, that'd be one thing. And we can do that using like toffino. Now, I also think this snake is spectacular in its highlights that you don't get as much of on the babies. This kind of tends to come out more with the adults as that color kind of changes. It's not as dark. The color isn't. You can see it's almost lightened up. I saw that little one. And you can see all this yellow speckling in here that you just don't find in the baby. That's kind of an individual thing too, but really cool. I really dig albino. I think this is an animal that kind of gets forgotten about because it's been around for so long, but I really do like him. You're going to throw yourself clean off of the table. Let's not do that. Here, you can have a shot at me if you want. So anyway, that's the difference between an adult and a baby albino. Quite a big difference there, I think, but not as much as the bananas. Here you go, girl. Go get you some. Go in there. Go see that dude. If you're curious what she's breeding, she is been put to our Tofino male. So we're hoping for some more Tofinos. Boop. Come on, get shy. No, don't do that. Come on, get shy. Look, I don't want you to break teeth. There you go. Ball them up. And the reason if they bite you, you can always break teeth. So you should always try to avoid that. A snake this size isn't going to do any damage if it does bite you. It's just kind of one of those things that happens. Trying to think of what else was another one I had set to do. I know there was another one.
There was pastel.
Oh, there was pastel. So let me show a pastel. So I just looked at one over here. There it is. So we'll start with a young pastel. Now this one is one that's, again, still a little bigger than some of the other babies, but this is something that you'd commonly find on a table. This is a little bit bigger one because I don't know if we've posted it yet or what the deal was. Straight pastel, nothing extra in here. You know, already with the pastel, it would be brighter when it was born. Okay, this is already going to be a little darker than when it was born. Not uncommon. Let me show you, though, what pastel does. And I'm going to pull you out a very, very old pastel. So this is like a very dark, old pastel. So pastels are one that are not always going to hold their color super bright. And I can pull out different examples. She is starting to get just a little tinge of the pink. So we are starting to go into shed. So she is a little bit on the dark side. But you can still see how drastic that color change is. So we have people here talking about pastels browning out. They brown out. They brown out. They brown out. Here it is, guys. So they do. Again, this one is going into shed. So it's probably not the best comparison. Let me get one that's not going into shed. Boy, you are pissed. Why are all you babies pissed? Get on in there, girlie. I didn't realize she was that close to shed when I first peeked. That's all right. I've got another one I can use. Oof. Ah, there we go. The same kind of thing. You're going to see what I'm talking about. This one's way brighter than the other one because it's not in shed right now. But you can see the color difference. You can see the browning out. It just, you know, it just happens. That's part of having pastels. They're not going to hold the color perfectly. If anybody says, oh, that pastel does, I'd like to know the line. There are supposedly some lines that do better. There's what they're called lemon that a lot of people say will hold better than others and things like that. Of course, we're working with our quote-unquote pastel likes, and they hold color amazingly well. You're probably thinking, really? Prove it. And I'll say, okay, I will. I will prove it because, you know, we're all about transparency. So you can see this, if this does turn out to be pastels a line, I think holds its colors. Man, you're Captain Hissy Pants. Better than the other one. Is it as bright as the baby? No, it's still not as bright as the baby. And again, this may be something totally different. So I'm kind of going off script here. But again, I just want you to see, even if this is a line of pastel, while it's holding brighter, it doesn't hold as well as a baby. So you're always going to have browning with the pastel. Are there ways to avoid it? Yeah. Desert Ghost makes it look, it doesn't brown. Fire is a great thing to combo with that if you don't want that to go downhill. Definitely can go that route. Put this little one back here. Oh, I know. You are just going to tell me how pissed off you are that I'm doing this. There you go. There you go. Let's go on to the next one. So this is one of the snakes I think makes one of the most drastic changes for a simple combo. The oldest combos in ball pythons, one of the original ones. This is a bumblebee. Bumblebees catch a lot of flack anymore. I really like them because when you look at this thing as a baby, holy shit. Like that, guys, I don't care how long you've been doing this. That's a pretty snake. You know, pretty angry snake. Die fly. Ah, got that thing. These things are pretty, though. They just are. The colors are very striking. You can see where the name came from. You sit there nice. And the yellow's beautiful, the black's beautiful, the striping's all there. Really, really pretty snakes. Now, how are they as adults? This is one of my original males. So he's an old dude, right? I mean, this guy's probably born, I don't know, he's 10 years old at least, I'd say right now, if I had to guess. 10 or over. So this is about like this old dog, right? You can see again that pastel browns, right? It does it in your Bumblebee as well. So here you go, browns out, okay? It is what it is. Don't bite the big one, you'll lose. So I just want you guys to be able to see that color comparison. Now, there is a lot of difference in these. Again, this is one of my original males I ever owned. Actually, one of the first ball pythons I ever owned was right here. Him and my original Axanthic male I got together at the same exact time, and they were the first time I ever bought a ball python just as a pet, and that was probably somewhere around 12, 13, or 14, if I had to guess. Probably 12 or 13. Had to be 12 or 13. So now, is there other things that stay a little bit brighter? Yeah. Of course, you're in shed right now, so you're not a great example. Every time you look for one, they're always in shed, right? It's all right. I got another one as long as it's not getting busy, and it's not. This is one of our production, and you can see I think it's held color a little bit better. It's a few shades lighter, nothing crazy. Now again, this snake, I can tell you, was born in 2015, so this is a 7-year-old snake versus a snake that's probably 10 or 11. So there could be something to that. I also think part of it is picking our holdbacks in the quality and whatnot has made this color a higher quality, improving the line we're working on. People talk about that. This is what we're looking at. You can kind of control some of that with what you're going to keep, even on some simple combos. The quality you keep matters, not the gene count. Just because it has 5 or 6 genes doesn't make it a great snake. You know, it's the quality, and we'll talk about that in another video, actually, that Kurt's got planned. So there is Bumblebee, and I believe that was the last we were going to show, right, Kurt?
Yep.
So what do you think was the most drastic changing snake that you saw?
I think Banana's pretty, because it starts out with no spots and then gets spotted.
That's true. Banana's the only one that gets more and more spots. So you can certainly make an argument for Banana being the biggest, change of any of them. For me, I think, that's a hard one to beat. I can't argue with you on that. So, but I'm not going to pick the same one as you. That makes it boring. It's like when you're watching a sports show where everybody's like, I think Alabama was going to be winning, and it was actually Georgia. So we got to pick something different. So if you're going to go with Banana, I would say for me the one that has the biggest change, minus that then, has to probably be, I think, the Bumblebee. Now it's really the pastel that's causing the change, so an argument can be made, why wouldn't you just go with pastel? But it's so striking in the baby versus the adult that is just this massive, massive change in my eye. That's why I'm going with that. All right, let me put these guys back up. Kurt, any questions?
Yes.
Go for it. Yay, questions. Wait, we don't go there.
Or do you know any difference between same morph, but just the male and female color?
Not really. I mean, there are some exceptions to that. I'm not the best at noticing this in every single female, but certain females, I certainly can see it. And that's when you're breeding and you get something that's going into glow. When it goes into glow, it tends to just look better. Think about people say, oh, even on humans, you're glowing and looking radiant and all that. Yeah, why don't you cover that head up for me? Almost. Close enough. So you can kind of see that. But short of that, I don't really see a whole lot of difference in the males and females. It's not like we're talking peacocks here where one is way, way brighter than the other one. I mean, I've also never set, if I'm being fully honest, and compared males to just females. And that might be something we do for a video and see if anybody can tell the difference. We'll play is it a boy or is it a girl game, taking size out of the equation maybe. But for me, I don't really see a difference. I don't think you're going to get brighter because you have a female or lower quality because you have a male. I think it's just kind of all in the, how it kind of plays out genetically. Anything else, Kurt?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We're going to slide over to Patreon, talk about how all this information can affect your sales, especially at a show. We will catch you next time.